Welcome to talk show Promising Bangladesh, sponsored by Crown Cement. Today our guests are, on my right, Major retired Mohd Akhtaruzzaman, former member of parliament and one of the leading and vocal voice in the world of Facebook and Twitter and social world. Mr. Akhtaruzzaman.
Yes, sir.
And on my left is Mr. Saeed Tarek, a veteran journalist and a political analyst. Now he is living in New York, and once upon a time he was also associated with Jatiya Party during a short time. Mr. Akhtar, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Well,
I'm always fine.
we have so many issues in hand, and
Yeah.
mostly we'll discuss on visa issue regarding ongoing political installment, including Cyber Security Act coming very soon. Mr. Akhtaruzzaman,
Yes, sir.
do you sense the visa policy for Bangladesh at the same time create a problem for opposition political parties because they are not in a position to go for peaceful demonstration and protest in different moods and modes, keeping in mind the visa policy, which implies peaceful demonstration, peaceful protest? How do you view this thing?
Thank you for your nice questions. It is the visa policy of United States of America. We have nothing to do in it. We have no business in it. Wow. Whom they will give visa, whom they will not give visa, this is not our politics. We don't care about it. And whoever is giving this priority on it, I should say, they don't give a priority of the national consensus. Our people, we want to satisfy our people, whether we get visa or we get vote from them or not. Why America will give visa, why will not give visa, that should not be my consideration in my politics. I do politics for me, for my people, for the country. So my country, if needs a demonstrations, if never needs a bloody battle, bloody war, like Ukraine and the Russians are fighting, we have to fight it. We cannot say, hey, Ukraine, don't fight the war, then you will not get the visa. Or you can say, Russia, hey, don't attack on them, don't fire on them. If you fire, I will not give you visa. That is ridiculous. It is a very, very, very stupid idea that we are considering this, we are talking about this, we are discussing about it. It is really absurd. It's really very nonsense. It's an act. If Mr. Tarek is know very well than me, this is a nationalism. United States has got an act, Immigration and Nationality Act, which is number 212. This consists of about 407 articles, out of which one article is 104. In 104, the state, Secretary of State, he has been conferred that he should administer, he should implement, he should impose this act on the officers of their diplomatic missions. Not to administer who will give visa, who will get visa, who will not get visa. It is clearly written in the law. I can quote you if you want to. I can quote you that 104, which has said, Act 104 is the powers and duties of the Secretary of State. A, the Secretary of State shall be charged with the administration and the enforcement of the provision of this Act and all other immigration and nationality laws relating to one, the powers, duties, function of diplomatic and consular office of the United States, except those powers, duties and function conferred upon the consular officer relating to the granting or refusal of visa. He cannot impose any order on the visa consular. The visa consular sitting in the United States Embassy is independent of the State Department. He is not a staff of the State Department. He is the staff of Immigration and Homeland Securities. They are involved with immigrations. Now in Bangladesh, every day we are talking. To me, I feel it is a threat. I feel this United States Department of State is every day threatening Bangladesh to lean over to them. I cannot accept it, sir. What politics I may do. I am a Bangladeshi, I am a nationalist politician. I don't want anybody to interfere or imposed or pressure on me to do what I should do, what I should not do. So, sorry sir.
Yes, go on.
You have very correctly asked the question. The visa, as a politician of Bangladesh, as a small person of Bangladesh, I feel it is interference to me, it is a pressure on me, it is a threat to me, it is against my sovereignty. I don't know who is in the government, who is in the oppositions. But I don't encourage it.
But Secretary of State Mr. Blinken officially says it
He
is a
has
kind
not
of
officially said.
democratic process. It is, if anybody proves to be threat to democratic process in Bangladesh, he will be issued.
Who the hell he is to issue? Who the hell he is?
So why the importance is given to that?
He has no power. He has no power to issue. He can recommend. He can only recommend that he can only recommend. How can I say? Have you seen what he said in the Twitter? Today he said, today, I am announcing a new visa policy under section 212 A3C, inverted 3C. There is a written in the Twitter of the Immigration Nationality Act of subject Bangladesh goal of holding free, fair, peaceful national elections. He not said that what I'll do, what I'll not do. He said that I'm announcing a new visa policy. And till today, we have not issued any policy. But they're talking. In the politics, talking has no value but only antagonizing people. We give a speech in the open public terrace or public grounds. It is a different issues.
Mr. Saeed Tarek, what Mr. Akhtaruzzaman says about the visa policy, do you agree?
No,
what is your interpretation?
So one thing he correctly said, this is pressure. What you said in your introductory speech, that this is a pressure on the Bangladesh government to hold a free and fair election. It's undoubtedly it's a pressure. So he is rightly said that it depends upon us how much we accept, how much we take into cognizance that policy. It's us who will decide. If we think, yes, it's the pressure and we should go by that, it's a different thing. If we think we don't care what the government, our government is, sometimes they try to say like this, we don't care and we don't just, come whatever, we will go on our own way, the way they are talking about that. So, it depends how we are taking this, how we are thinking of this. It depends about that. Now, the opposition and the people, some portion of people of our country, they think that it's a strong pressure on the government to hold a free and fair election, and by fearing but not getting US visa, so they are gonna go for the free and fair election. Somebody is thinking like that. And the government circle, they think that whatever come, we will go for our schedule, we will go, we will proceed as per our planning. So there is two things. One is opposition context and another is government context. I was talking to you earlier before this show starts, that is, if the government ignores it, I don't care. What will happen? What happened to Cambodia? What happened to Nigeria? What happened to Niger? Venezuela? They are still in the power. They hold the election the same like that, and US imposed visa restrictions to them, and the government is still there. What about in Myanmar? There are a lot of sanctions over them. There are a lot of sanctions, but the government is there. Same in Bangladesh, if this present regime, Awami League, they think that we don't care, we will not care this visa restrictions, this visa policy, come what may, we will go. They can go an election as the way they like, and they can remain in power. What US will do? They will put some restrictions. They will put some sanctions. That's it. Do you think by those restrictions and sanctions the government will go? No, nowhere. So he was correctly saying that this is the people, we, our countrymen, they will decide.
Correctly.
They will decide what to do and what should be.
Then why the political parties in Bangladesh, especially ruling party of the oppositions, are beating the drum? The visa policies are here, it is a threat to those who may create problems to hold free and fair elections. Why?
No, because there is some stake. You know, the many people, and especially in the government level ruling party, they are afraid of visa sanctions. That's the main reason. They are very much afraid because they have their US visas holding, some of them they are holding US green cards, passports, and they have a son, daughter in the US studying or residing, or they have properties, they have business over there. So they are afraid, they are scared that if their selection, if his visa is cancelled and he cannot go to US, then what happened to just the former police and RAF chief Benazir Ahmed. So these people, this kind of people, this type of people, they are afraid, they are thinking, and they are just what you said, that they are too much concerned about this visa policy. And at the same time, the main opposition political parties, they are also talking about much of this visa policy. I don't know why, because visa policy cannot ensure the ouster of this government. It cannot. It depends on the people. If you can launch the movement, the mass movement, then may government listen to you. Otherwise, why they will listen? So I am agree with him that we don't have anything to much talking about this visa policy.
Thank you very much. We will go for a short break and come to you again. Viewers, we are going for a short break. Please keep watching. Well, we are back again, and we were having talks with Major Retired Akhtaruzzaman and Mr. Saeed Tarek, and they were talking about the visa policies. Now we turn to them with a new concern. Mr. Akhtaruzzaman, you know very well that the present stand of political affairs in Bangladesh and the political landscapes is very much confronting, at the same time diametrically opposed between Awami League and BNP. And one opposition is claiming for Carter government, and Awami League is it not to go for it. And what is your understanding as a veteran political leader and member of parliament?
It's okay, it is nothing new. All over the world, there is always a difference of opinion. There is a position and opposition. The two will never meet together. They will walk in the same road. And they will always work in the opposite directions. Once they are doing their own politics and walking their own way, there may be sometime bypass, side pass, or sometime confrontations. It is the part and parcel of the politics. I cannot agree all the issues as the government is trying to take. Government is also taking all this policy for the betterment, for the benefit, for the welfare of the people. But we may not like that. Maybe that's his government policy in the name of welfare, in the name of development, in the name for betterment of the people. Maybe they're exploiting the situations. Maybe the government's all actions are nothing but exploiting the people. They may be telling that we are doing it for development, we are doing for the people. But it may happen that development is doing for themselves by contract, by misusing money, by misappropriating funds, by all these means in the name of development, government may misuse it. As I said, it may be exploiting the people. Same way, if you say I am doing welfare to you, it may be again you may be dishonestly you are doing it. You are maybe giving a 5 taka, 10 taka to someone as a welfare and taking 100 taka in other names and diverting that fund to others. Same way you may say that I am trying to develop a city like this, but which is not required, maybe misuse of the money. Maybe you are borrowing some money from someone else, so some people's, or in such a high interest, which my country may not able to pay that. But your government, maybe in the name of developments, in the name of the people's welfare, in the name of the betterment of the people, government is taking. Do you think, as a conscious politician, I should accept it? I must not. Because when I find the governments, all the intention of the governments taking the program for the people are a malafide, are with the bad intentions, or with their personal gains, it becomes my honest, sincere responsibility to oppose it. And for that oppose, maybe first instance I may give a reminder or maybe warning to the government by giving good speech, by giving good writings, by taking a good resolution in my political forum that government has taken this program which this party, we don't accept it. Then we should go to the Russian systems. They've got millions of people, millions of workers, but they don't have the millions of supporters. So in Bangladesh, if we are to do a peaceful demonstration of that we are not happy with the governments, we want to tell on behalf of people, so we'll go for a general meetings. Public will come, we'll tell them this is the way government is exploiting you. If government doesn't listen to that even, then we'll ask government, please come for demonstrations. Today we will demonstrate, tomorrow we'll demonstrate that we don't want governments. We'll say no to this demand. We'll say no to this government, this program. We'll use a placard. We'll tell this. We don't accept government decisions. We'll tell. Like this is the 17th of August, our intermediate exam will start. It is exam will start. There are few boys are protesting. They don't want to sit in the exams. It is their right. They may say, maybe correct or not correct, that is different issues. But the right of the boys that he found he is already prepared to sit in the exam on next 17. So he is telling the people that please delay this exam because I am not prepared. He has the right to tell that.
Well,
I'm just coming. I'll conclude it very quickly. I'm going to conclude this portion. So we will go for different manners because we have failed, the government is not listening to the peoples. Then we'll go for strikes. We'll go for protest. We'll go for confronting the governments. We'll tell the people to disobey the governments. We'll go on the road. We'll face the bullet. We'll face the jail. We'll be in prisons. We'll be killed. If required, if I find that people are more interested, our demand is more pro-peoples, we may go for the more violence. Political activities will dictate us, whether it will be peaceful or it will be violence. But nothing wrong in it. In the war, it's nothing wrong in it. It is who win the battle. So to win the battle, you have to use any methods, any process, anything, flower or bullet, either of anything. By flower you can achieve, welcome. If not, by bullet, at the end of the game, you have to win. That is the main crux of the politics.
and thank you very much for your very, very vibrant speech. And Mr. Saeed Tarek, what
Yes.
Mr. Akhtaruzzaman said,
Yes.
and he already spoke in the superlative. If need arises, people should go, and the political party should go up to the limit.
Right.
And do you think there should be a dialogue between Awami League and BNP at this very moment?
So far, I think Akhtar Bhai has said everything. All the questions you are asking now and you will ask in future. You have replied to all of the questions. The thing is, the major political parties in every situation, they should hold dialogue. That's the normal democratic practice. Akhtar Bhai was telling the practices, what should be the practices of the roles and of the political parties in a democratic society. And finally, he concluded that if this process fails, then go for demonstration and go for, you will have to win. That's the last.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. You will have to win. Government, they will have to win. The opposition, they will have to win. Nobody knows who will win. Whosoever. But someone will have to win. That's the thing. But this practice is only considerable in the democratic situation, where democracy prevails. In our country, do you think that this situation prevails? No. Because we are listening from the government officials, the government ruling party officials, from top to bottom, that everything. What dialogue? Dialogue with whom? Dialogue what for? So they are not willing to hold any dialogue, and simultaneously the opposition leaders, they are also they are just echoing their voices. Oh, what for dialogue? Just step down. You go, step down. But the thing is, if we want to solve this problem in a peaceful way, there is no option other than this dialogue. There will have to be dialogue. In this type of politics, in this situation, there are some state machineries also factor in transferring power or the overthrowing the any regime. There are so many factors. There is bureaucracy, there is administration, there is law enforcement, the army, and this, that, the foreign influence. So I told you earlier that there is 2 more months ahead. So many things is to happen in these 2 months. Many things. We don't know when, in which day. Nobody can tell that. But there will be something from outside the country. This is unfortunate that our nation, we are the people now, for a quite long time, we are dictated. Some people say that we are governed by external forces, external powers. This is very unfortunate. But to some extent, what do we say? You are talking about the visa policy, US visa policy. Yes, it created some implications in our politics. You know, before this visa policy, the pattern of our politics, the treatment to the opposition political parties is, we know what the way the government was handling them. After announcing the visa policy, it has changed. Now the opposition political parties, they can hold rallies, they can speech, they can go. And what I say in the last 28 July meeting, they were miking on the street for the rally. It was absent during, I think, I can remember when I last heard this, maybe 15 years, 20, 25 years. It's gone. So I think this is the a good side of this visa restriction. I think if there would have been no visa restrictions, this situation may not have been changed. The government would have handled the opposition forces like the previous way, holding, sent to jail.
Here, Mr. Tarek,
I'm coming again. Okay. Thank you very much. I will go for a short break and we'll come very soon. Well, viewers, we're going for a short break. Keep watching. We are back again and we are having talks with Mr. Akhtaruzzaman and Mr. Saeed Tarek. Both of them were very high on their analysis understanding. And Mr. Saeed Tarek, you are talking about the dialogue, whether it should take place or not, and Mr. Akhtaruzzaman is very much serious about the whole thing, and he says everything should be decided on the street. If
No. If there is no solution on this treble, that is the only.
First of all, you need to sit at the table.
Sure.
Still, table is far away.
Sure.
Far away. Mr. Akhtaruzzaman, what about...
the table talk is the best place in the parliament. When there is a parliament system of governments, the parliament is always the place, the venue to discuss and argument, cross-talking. But unfortunately, we could not make this parliament effective in the last 14 years. We find no active parliaments was there. So the question of which you are talking, about which you are talking, said that we are allowed to do the meetings, demonstrations because of the visa sanction. Yes, it's true. There is some sort of showing this, that's where I got it. But we want to call a public meetings. If we want to bring a public, we have to make a publications. We have to make a what is called these advertisements, telling the people, miking, and pre-meeting demonstrations, calling people, coming with this what is called rally, missile like this. But we cannot. It has been government approved, permitted stereotype meeting. Our leaders somehow they are having as a very good obedience listener of the governments. And as per the governments, they hold the meetings, they finish the meetings, and I don't know whether they make a speech also before approved, whatever they will call, I don't know. But question is that no democratic right we are allowed to exercise in Bangladesh. Sorry, United States government is blind. They cannot see that. I'm sorry to say that. Because it is just a stereotype meetings. Our workers are coming from all over the Bangladesh.
Right.
Same people are going here and there. And they're waiting for whether this meeting has been approved or permitted by the government. If they're permitted by the government, they all come and jump on it. If not permitted by the government, they run away. You have seen on the 29th July, when BNP called for a
sit-down strike.
Sit-down strike on the approach of the Dhaka city, find no leader was there. Because they were afraid that if we go, we'll be arrested. They were afraid. So no big leaders, no even medium-level leaders, they came out. It is an enthusiastic young lot, what we call a tribunal, grassroots level workers, because they are fed up with the government. They don't like the government.
Right.
These are the people who are demonstrating most. So they came, everybody in the street on this sit-down process. So the dialogue is, if the government is the one to peaceful elections, all party participant elections, it isn't right, it is a time. But I am sure the government in such positions, government is careless who comes for the election or not, because they knows that everybody, 99% of the world opinion is the government's.
With the government?
With the governments. If you want a statistic, I can show you. You know this every issues. You see this, what the United States Ambassador Mr. Haas, he has spoken to the our staff college. He said, we want a peaceful, stable government. His first requirement, he said, is a peaceful, stable. That means they want the government to continue. Peaceful and stable government. Stable government means what? The same government continues. Otherwise, they want to do. They could say different way. If they wanted to.
Does it mean that the continuation of this government? Stable
of course. I don't know what mean. I'll just speak out this speech.
No, I have heard.
No, I'll speak out this speech.
But what they were telling.
He said peaceful and sthitishil Bangladesh government. Sthitishil means stable government.
Stable government.
So stable government. Stable government means here. He doesn't. Stable government means at the end of the day, They could say a new potential government.
Not necessarily that the continuation of the present government. It may be that through a free and fair election, the government established. That government.
That's why he came.
Can we travel?
Amader, who have second democracy, the Swachhata means the transparency, Bahuttavad, multi-approaches, tolerance, good governance, and human rights, which exist. Has any point of this exist here in Bangladesh?
No.
Then why they're not telling? They're dreaming for it. It means what? It is not existing. So it is not existing.
Right.
So diplomatic language, his diplomatic language, I have understood very well.
Yeah.
I have understood that he means, so he's telling the government, okay, I have told you to be stable. So I'm with you. I'm peaceful. I don't want any demonstration. I don't want any street fightings. It's very clear. So he doesn't need to sell any arms. He doesn't sell to...
That doesn't mean that you continue, we will not say anything.
It
doesn't mean like that.
Maybe you have understood that. But I'm stupid. I'm a fool. I don't understand that. I understand that the government, the American government is with the government, with the governments. I'm a fool. I'm agreeing. I'm agreeing with you, sir. I'm agreeing with you. I'm a fool. But I have understood that.
Don't say like that.
So I have this.
That's your analysis.
So
you
that's
see
why
like,
I said.
You see like this way.
But this is my because I'm concerned here. Because I'm concerned here.
I understand.
I'm concerned here. So he has not proved. He has not said to me. So when he's telling the army, and he's his stand, so I have to see whether the election is good or not. I can only see after participating that. So the United States is trying to change my mood and change my modality, what I can only achieve. So it is purposefully they are issuing the visa against us, against the BNP, against the opposition of Bangladesh. And it is rightly and appropriately in the favor of the governments. So in whole over the world, if you see, the Russian government is in favor of the governments, Chinese government is in favor of the governments, EU are in favor of the governments. They are planning, they have submitted that they want to send an observer in the elections. Why we are telling that we will not go to elections? Why they are telling that we will send observer? It means what? You are pulling us?
No, there is a condition.
You are, try to understand. We have said that we will not go to elections. Then why you are going offering your observer? You could say if EU
observer is not finalized yet.
I am not questioning finalizing. I am telling that they have offered.
They are thinking.
They have proposed it. How they can propose when we have said, when you met our people.
They are hoping that there will be.
Why should make a hope? Why should I make a hope? Why should I make a hope against me? I have told you, my BNP leader has told them that we are not going to participate in election under this present regimes. Now after talking to me, you are telling the election commission, we want to send a very high-powered observer. So it is to me that you are in favor of the governments. What's my point is this. So China is going in favor of governments, the Russia is in favor of governments, Americans of course, EU of course, and India doesn't requires to be said. Nepal is with them, the Bhutan is with them, and
Then where is the problem? Then where is the problem?
Problem is that only without BNP there cannot be any elections.
No, just kill them and put them into the jail.
Please, welcome. We are ready. We are ready. Welcome.
There will be none to oppose it.
What I believe, if I would have been the leadership of the BNP, I'm sorry that's I cannot. If I would have been in the leadership of the BNP, today, instead of peaceful rally, we should have gone for the demonstrations. We should have called the people to stop the government, stop this. I should have shown the black.
I agree.
I should have shown the black flag to all the American visit. Just I finish it. I should have shown them a black flag to all the US visits they are coming. I should have given the all black flag to the Europeans. I should have given any decisions in favor of the election anybody taking, come with the black flag. we condemn it, we
Well,
don't hate
Mr.
it.
Akhtaruzzaman,
That should have been my peaceful demonstration of the politics. But today,
Black flag to the foreigners?
we are about
those years, to
You are-
tell them my mind, to tell them it's my mind, I don't welcome you. You are not required to come
We are
at
at
this
the
moment.
point of finishing
You
the
talk
talk
to the
show.
government, don't call me.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay.
Mr. Saeed Tarek,
Yes.
in a short, because we are going for a short, we are final stage.
Okay.
Mr. Akhtaruzzaman spoke in a very superlative language. And he is
Very
very high
nicely
all the
too.
time. And when he speaks so many things.
Yeah.
But main point is whether there will be dialogue or not. If there is dialogue, good sign. No dialogue, there is a catastrophe. Definitely catastrophe, because Awami League will choose his own way, BNP will choose his own way. Which is better, only Allah knows it.
Yes.
What is the final conclusion?
Final conclusion, I said, just before this show, we were talking about that if the government thinks, they have decided, but still they on that track that they will go for an election even without BNP, even without any other political party, just Awami League and some of their allies, they can hold it. If the law enforcement for the agencies and the administration supports them, helps them, they can hold it. And to hold that, they will have to do one thing, they will have to get all the BNP leaders and put them into jail and file thousands of cases against all the rank and file workers and leaders, drive them away. They will have to do that. Now one thing, whether they can do that, because it needs to involvement of the law enforcement agencies. Now the question is, this visa policy, US visa policy, I told you earlier that whether they will cooperate or not. So far I think maybe they will cooperate, and maybe they can hold an election without any opposition party, without any foreign observer, without any American, without any observer. They can just like 2018 election, they can hold an election and they can form a government. After that, there will be some actions, restrictions, this, that, from other circles. If they think that we don't care, they can. The other thing, the other countries, those on those the visa restrictions imposed, the latest Cambodia, the government is there. They don't care. And why? How? Because China is behind them.
Okay.
Now, in that circumstances, China, you told, China, Russia, Iran, India is there, and these three countries, they come forward and back that government, so they will be there. What's the problem?
Thank you very much.
That is one thing.
We take 30 seconds from you.
Yeah.
Just Tarek bhai ke boli.
Only 30 seconds.
30 seconds. I want to say, there is one said in Bangladesh, that somebody went to the Babu and said that my son has passed SSC. He said if he passed SSC, he will not get the job. After a few days, he said he got the job. He said he got the job, he will not get the salary. Sir, this government doesn't need to arrest us. We are already scared. Doesn't need to arrest us. Doesn't need to arrest the BNP leaders. They will do the elections. The many party will participate. Even from ourselves. There will be elections, but people.
There will be elections. There may be an election.
But people may not come to cast their vote. So if the BNP can ensure that people are not coming for their vote, then BNP only can think of the consequences or subsequent what they will do. But there will be election in time. This government is smart enough. The Prime Minister is much smarter than any politician having. She is playing with others. She is much more smarter. It will be done. It will be done very peacefully, and we'll see, we'll listen. আমরা শুধু ইংরেজি বাংলা গান একটু বলি শুধু চেয়ে চেয়ে দেখলাম বুঝছেন না তা আমাদের শুধু চেয়ে চেয়ে দেখা ছাড়া উইল জাস্ট লুক এন্ড সি
let us wait and see.
So nothing wait and see. No, I don't believe. I don't believe in wait and see.
Yes.
I'm a doers. I don't wait for the anybody else. I do it. If I can
Yes,
do
Mr.
it, I do
Akhtaruzzaman.
it today. If I cannot do it, I don't do it.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Saeed Tarek.
Yes.
Well, viewers, we are having talks with Mr. Akhtaruzzaman and Mr. Saeed Tarek. Both of them are very seasoned political leaders, and at the same time, they are very much active in the world of Facebook and social media, and they are very much known to each other. Definitely. And what they say, in a nutshell, it can be said that they are very much high of the politics of Bangladesh, at the same time being frightened that if there is any chaos and conflict in Bangladesh, economy will be disturbed. At the same time, Mr. Akhtaruzzaman is very much, he is not so much hopeful of what the BNP is doing at the very moment. At the same time, Mr. Saeed Tarek says the visa restrictions definitely has some important and essential impact on the government, because of the visa restriction, there are some sorts of democratic atmosphere in Bangladesh, and taken all this together, it is up to you to judge what they say, and it is up to you to feel what you can do it. And thank you very much. Meet you again in the next talk show. Thank you.